We turn our focus now to the Afrobarometer study titled From Aspiration to Action. What this study does this year is it focuses on barriers to youth empowerment on the African continent. And what the study reveals is that young people who are aged between the ages of 18 and 25 face the most severe employment challenges on the African continent. The numbers show that around 45% of those who participated in the survey report being unemployed. Yes, they are unemployed, but they're actually still in the marketplace. They're still actively looking for work. Inadequate training has been highlighted as one of the main reasons, and a lack of required experience have emerged as the leading barriers to youth employment on the African continent. Respondents say that governments should prioritise job creation, followed by improving education, as well as expanding access for business loans, specifically for that 18 to 25 cohort. Joining us this afternoon to dissect the Afrobarometer is the editor, Komi Amewunou. A very good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to Africa in Business.
Thank you, Mabu.
So you are also, apart from being an editor at Afrobarometer, you're actually one of the authors of the report. And from the survey that you've put together, what are the barriers that really seemed to be top of the list, and the barriers that were identified that are actually hindering young people? And this is from the perspective of young people themselves. So this is straight from their own personal experiences.
Yeah, thank you, Mabu. The barrier or the barrier to youth empowerment, one of the key conditions we analyzes in our study is the employment. We notice that young people are, they enjoy high school study than their elder, but unfortunately, they are the most who are touched by the unemployment. So when we ask them, we see in general the first barrier to youth employment is the lack of adequate training, second by the lack of experience, and the young unwilling to work on certain job. So those three top barrier to youth employment are the same through the ages, the young as the elder, citing those three barriers. Thank you.
So in the period that you conducted this study, what did you find? Did you find that youth employment on the continent was getting better, or was it indeed getting worse? Was there a decline?
Thank you once again. Specifically, this question is a new one in our around 10 finding. That's the first time we survey on this variable. So for the next round, we will check whether they are changing or not.
All right, so this was really the first one, so you can't really compare. But as far as structural issues are concerned, what are the main structural factors that were identified by the young people and even yourselves that are actually keeping young people out from being able to access those decent jobs?
Okay, thank you. So let me quickly clarify one thing. When we ask Africans and as well as young people, what is the burning issue in their life, we are surprised that unemployment, as you can imagine, is not as you cannot imagine, is not the first one, but it is among the top three. The first was the health problem, second by unemployment, and the third is education. So this problem, the problem of unemployment, as I stated before, young people think that the lack of training, the inappropriate training are the the main factor that hinder them from getting access to decent work.
One of the things that you notice, which is also quite interesting, is that even though young people may be educated, they've studied, they've got those degrees, but there seems to be a
Mm.
mismatch between the qualifications that they have and the actual needs of the labor market. Could you talk to us a bit about that?
Yeah, that is one of something one of surprising thing we find in our data. We notice that more people are educated, more they are yeah they, they don't have job. So, but specifically in this report, we didn't go far, but yeah, in one of our paper we want to see how people that are highly educated are most unemployed. So we found something interesting that yeah, people the unemployment rate is high among people who are highly educated, but more you go far, more you have the chance uh, to be employed or to find a decent work. So that's what I can say regarding the level of study and the employment. But one thing you highlight is the mismatch between the labor market and the educational program that people are following. And our data to highlight this.
What's quite interesting as well is that you didn't just focus on being employed and employability, but you also looked at entrepreneurship on the African continent. That was also one of your key features of the Afrobarometer study. I found it quite interesting that Southern Africa and the youth in Southern Africa are less interested and less inclined to follow the route of entrepreneurship. And this is in comparison to the likes of young people in East or even West Africa. Dissect that for us.
Yeah, in general, youth on the continent um, prefer entrepreneurship to the other type of employment. Specifically, young people from Western and Eastern Africa um, are more keen to choose entrepreneurship over the the other kind of employment. Yeah, this regional pattern may reflect maybe the differences in formal sector labor market size in contexts where formal employment opportunities are scarcer. Entrepreneurship may represent not just a preference, but a necessary shaping young people aspiration accordingly, I think.
All right, we'll leave it at that for this afternoon, Mr. Komi Amewunou. We thank you so much for your time and for taking us through Afrobarometer report. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Mabu.
All right, thank you so much. That's Komi Amewunou. He's editor at Afrobarometer.